everybody, and welcome to the Makers of Minnesota podcast, where we talk to cool people doing cool things. And today we are talking to Gretchen Fleener. She is a artist who does paintertainment and has a few business names. Paintertainment is one of them, but I ran across her because I saw something called the Glitter Glamper, and I was so excited about it because it combined a camper and glitter and paint activations and fun things to do on site. So Gretchen, welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So you're a paintertainer. Tell me what that means.
Yeah, so I provide all sorts of artistic entertainment for events. I started out with face painting 27 years ago. And since then, I've taken up balloon twisting and henna and glitter tattoos. So any kind of really artistic way to entertain party guests is what I do.
So tell me about how that morphed into the Glitter Glamper.
Yeah, so I think everybody in Minnesota knows it's really tough to get into the Minnesota State Fair, and that was kind of like the ultimate goal, I think, for a face painter, the big one, the big fair. And I had been trying to get in there with face painting for years, and they said, we have one little booth already at the fair, and we're not looking for more face painting. So I was actually laying in my camper bed one weekend with my family. We love to go camping out at William O'Brien State Park. That was the fall of 2018. I was just kind of, drifting away to sleep. That's when those ideas tend to pop in your head. And I thought, what if I combine camping with glamping and glitter? I do glitter in my face paint, and the glitter glamper idea kind of came to mind, just melding together so many things. I love camping, and I love vintage retro style and 50s stuff and all things glitter. So this idea started brewing as I laid there. And I decided to put together a proposal for the fair for something more than face painting, something a little different that could be aimed at adults as well and teens, and involve more of the bling side. That whole face painting industry has really exploded in the last 10 years with new products, and people were starting to attach actual gems to faces with princess crowns and things like that. So I kind of went in that direction. I put together a packet of photos of what I could do, including glitter beards, which was a really fun new thing. Bless my husband's heart, he let me experiment on his beard.
Sure.
So that I could get a photo of one to send them. And so my proposal included a Photoshop rendering of a vintage camper. It was kind of my pie in the sky dream. I thought, this is what I would do if you gave me a spot at the fair. I would go invest in a camper. But they have to see what your idea is first. So I luckily had some Photoshop skills. I drew up my idea, sent it off, and thought, well, it's out of my hands, and went through one winter, and the following spring, they called me up in May and had a spot for me. So once I had that spot, of course, I kind of went into full gear, making this whole idea into a reality.
So where is your spot at the fair?
So actually, this is breaking news. As of, I think, last week, they've decided to move us. I started out in the West End, which is just a super fun place with shopping and music. And I'm now moved over to, this will be the first year in Baldwin Park. So it's like a family area over there, right across the street from the 4-H building, and kind of between 4-H and the big Ferris wheel. So
you're very close to the My Talk 107 booth.
Oh,
which is
awesome.
one of my day jobs. So I'll make sure that I pop on by. So what kind of camper did you buy? And is it more of a backdrop, or do you literally invite people into the camper to do their glitter treatment?
Yeah, so I actually found a 1963 Shasta, which is basically it's exactly what I photoshopped in my rendering. I was very excited when I found it from a guy in St. Paul, actually. And I did spend it was kind of I call it my COVID sanity project. I spent a lot of COVID time outfitting this camper into a glamper. It was already in pretty good shape. But yeah, my goal was to make it so that I could work out of it, like work actually inside of it with people, but also be able to camp in it. So if I went to a festival that was out of town for a weekend, I could theoretically spend the night there and then open up shop in the morning and bling people out. So I took out the front dinette section, which was like a booth and a table, and custom designed a piece that would still hide the water tank, but it would function as both a booth when I'm camping and a workstation when I'm blinging in there. So it's kind of it's like a sparkly transformer. It can be for work or play.
So this type of business is very solopreneur, right? Because do you have people that work for you or work with you, or are you solely it? And then, like, to grow every year, you have to charge more, or the economics have to be real clear.
Yeah, so face painting in general, I think it starts out kind of lonely. Usually, most people start just doing parties on their own, uh, and some people get into that competitive mindset where we can't work with other painters or they'll take our jobs. But I think when Facebook came around and all the Facebook groups came out, everybody really started coming together and connecting with other artists, and there's conventions out there for face painters, so many ways to connect since I started face painting. And I kind of fell into the agent role as I grew. I would get events that were just way too big for me to handle myself, and connecting with fellow painters around the Twin Cities really helped me build up an awesome team of artists. And well, before COVID, I would host paint jams at my house every month. Now I'm starting those back up again. So we have a really great tight knit community here that helps each other out with their events and their booths. And so we all basically as an agent, I hire other artists as independent contractors. And so I've luckily been able to meet a lot of talented people up until now that I could count on for my booth. And yeah,
Hold
so
on
that's
one
kind of
second.
yeah.
Hold on one second. I have to plug in. So hold
Oh,
on. So you have a team of people that you can call on for these events. Like, how much does a good face painter make in an hour per se?
oh, it depends. I mean, at an hourly paid event at parties, it's obviously more of a stable thing than at a fair. I would say the going rate in the Twin Cities is probably 150 an hour, maybe more depending on what they're offering. Uh, and of course, I have a blog post about this. It's not necessarily you're making 150 in an hour. There's a lot of expenses and extra time before and after an event that goes into that. So um, hourly events are kind of what our bread and butter throughout the year. And then these fairs, you just never know. It's a big gamble. Which is
Yeah,
why I don't
because
do a lot of them. But
weather and you still have to staff regardless of the weather,
mhm, yeah,
supplies and
weather's a big one. That's one reason I don't do a lot of these outdoor events unless they're a good long one like the fair. People are going to come at some point. So if you have a bad rainy day, you'll make it up on the nicer day. So
are you
yeah.
kind of like, I get this vibe from you that you're like the mother of face painters in the Twin Cities. Am I correct?
Oh, I don't know. That would be an honor if I was considered the mother of face painters.
Were you a traditional artist before, or how did you get into this?
Yeah, I mean, I've been an artist my whole life. I come from a family of artists. My mom was an artist who worked from home as well. And so it's just kind of in my blood. I went to school actually for industrial design and worked in the corporate world, designing retail displays for Best Buy for a while. And so I kind of found a career path there that used my arts. I mean, I've been painting, I guess, since I could hold a brush. I started face painting in high school just as a summer job at Valley Fair. And
How
that's
funny.
kind of where the face painting started from. But of course, they close in the summer. And so I went into Camp Snoopy when it used to be Camp Snoopy at Mall of America for worked there weekends through college. And, I graduated and worked in the corporate gig, but I still kind of kept that face painting on the side just because it was fun and extra money. And that was part of my negotiations actually for my corporate job, was that I'd get that week off to do the county fair. So it kind of was a high school thing and then a side thing. And then when I had kids, it became my full-time job, which has been really awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like a great career to balance like home and fun. And obviously fun is a big part of face painting. And when you talked about that there's been innovations in the materials, tell me more about that. Like what kind of things are you excited about that you'll have out at the fair this year?
Oh, yeah. So the whole three-dimensional thing is what sets us apart from the other face painting booths, and the gems we attach. So I also have handmade unicorn horns that we put on little girls so we can make you look like a unicorn. We have mermaid tails. So there's that whole 3D aspect of it. We use like a skin safe medical grade adhesive. And then there's also just so many tools, unique brush shapes, and what we call split cakes, which are paint cakes that have multiple colors in them. So you can load up a whole rainbow on one brush, and with one stroke, you can make an entire rainbow. And so there's just endless things. I run an online face paint store as well. So I'm constantly adding new things. And of course I have to buy them myself to try them. So I have an opinion. So yeah, it's kind of it's an endless stream of fun things that they come up with for face painting.
Do you market your store online through search engine optimization because it's such a specific niche?
I wish I knew more about SEO optimization. My sister's great at that. I need to plug her into my business. I think I get a lot of business out of my website, mainly just because it's been there for so long now. So that's something I'd love to learn more about, just to get more traffic. But I do get a lot of people coming to my site, I think through Facebook groups now. There's a lot of groups for other artists, and I'm constantly pumping out free content, tutorials and blog posts and things that all eventually point people back to my site. So it helps a lot.
And is that why you make all that content?
No, not really necessarily. I just love to teach. I guess maybe that back to the being a mother of face painters.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't consider myself the mother of face painters in the area. There's a lot of wonderful painters out here, but I love to help new painters. And just I started school in graphic design, and I like that graphic side of things. So I like laying out tutorials, and I have a magazine I publish, and I love writing as well. So that kind of brings all of those things together. I can share what I love and help other people get into it as well. I've self-published a few books for painters, and I'll teach at conventions. And so I love teaching other artists and just watching when they get that wow moment when something clicks and they figure out a time-saving amazing trick or something. So
how much joy, I can just imagine a little kid that you've put a unicorn horn, and painted her face, and she turns around and sees it in the mirror. That's got to be magical.
It is. We call that the mirror moment for us. It's like our payment for everything we do is just to get those looks in the mirror. And it's just really fun to be the fun thing at the party. A lot of times I'm the surprise for the birthday child, which is, how can you not love that?
I love it.
For a job.
Absolutely. Well, it's a great to talk to you. I can't wait to see you at the fair, the Glitter Glamper, and it's going to be super fun. And we'll look for you in the new Baldwin Park family area. And
Yeah.
thanks for your time today. A mother of face painters, not the mother, like the mother of dragons. You can be a mother of face painters, but it's really been fun to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Okay.
having me. I hope to see you at the fair.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.